bloody gate!
Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders!
That pack of goblins will be on us any second!
What's going on?
Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now!
You let goblins here? Where is the druid?
Please! There's no time!
By the nine hells! Open the gate! Damnable roach! Provoke the blade! And suffer its sting. That was the last of them! Inside! All of you! More may follow! Open the gate! There are children here, you fool!
We was running for our lives.
You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
She's right. We should scram while we can.
Right. Lead the goblins here, then leave the rest of us to fight them off, you coward!
What's it gonna take to shut you up, Horns?
The human's eye twitches. He's about to blow.
Should have done that a long time ago. Arrogant prick had it out for me from day one. No one leaves my people out cold. He was right, though. Coming back to this hellhole was a mistake no amount of gold can put right. I'd rather face another round of goblins than stay in this pit.
Regression. A cheap shot. I should have expected that. I'll survive a sore jaw. Particularly if it's rid the grove of Aradin. Whatever your business, I'd see to it quickly. The druids are forcing everyone out. This attack will only strengthen their resolve. Goblin got you. The druid Halsin's a renowned healer, but he didn't make it back from Aradin's expedition. If it's not too serious, you could try his apprentice Nettie. She's with the other druids in the inner grove. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We're no fighters. We're refugees from Elturel. We took shelter here after gnolls attacked us on the road. We were bound for Baldur's Gate, and it was too late to turn back. Elturel had no place for tieflings after the Descent.
The Descent, an infernal conspiracy that had seen the entire city of Elturel briefly dragged to the Hells.
A fair point. We can only hope the citizens of Baldur's Gate are more open-minded. But we can't get there with those beasts blocking our path. I've tried. Korga, their new first druid, won't even see me. You, though... I know it's not your business, but she owes you for saving this place. Perhaps you could persuade her. For more time to prepare, if nothing else.
Turning your back on the needy to save your own skin? Maybe we'll get along after all.
I understand. I can only thank you for the help you've already given. If you'll excuse me, I'd best get my people moving. Take that back.
Refugees, adventurers, no one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met.
And thank you for beating back those goblins. Most brave of you. Is there anything you need? I lower my prices for fellow druids, but you'll need to be quick. The ritual will be complete before too long. I know it's drastic, but more monsters seem to terrorize this region every day. We druids will be safe. As for those that took refuge here, well, may Sylvanas guard them as they continue their travels. Ignorance is agony, my friend. I will include you in my prayers. I better get started, for your sake.
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin!
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once.
Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blazing spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay! These people aren't fighters. We can help!
Or yell louder. That's fine too. Roland's right, sis. We should leave while we still can.
Or would you deny your brother here his chance at fortune in Baldur's Gate?
Fine! Let's sneak away like God's damned cowards. But if something happens to these people, it's on us. I hope you know that.
This place is a bloody death trap, not a sanctuary. You should clear off while you can.
You're addressing me? A humble ox. How quaint.
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
No. You are incapable. I'll tell you this much. I'm going to Baldur's Gate, with or without the rest of these poor sods. Now, that's all I have to say besides, and I really mean this, move.
You're alive. I woke up by the wreckage, surrounded by corpses. I was starting to think I was the only survivor. Of course. I'd be stuck in a pod, or worse, if it wasn't for you. Glad to see you're all right. Now, maybe we can help one another. We might be clear of those monsters' ship, but we still have their spawn inside our heads. We need to get rid of them while we still can. A toy. It's not important. I might have considered it, but your choice of company so far leaves a great deal to be desired. Get rid of the Gith, then we can talk about helping each other.
I offer you cleansing. You'd cast it aside for this Shkaketh.
Fine. Put your faith in a marauding freak. Just do it away from me. This is a terrible idea. You know that, yes? But I suppose you may have your uses. I can keep an eye on the Gith. A bit crowded, don't you think? You'll need to swap out someone if you want me.
Shadow Heart. Shadow Heart.
I'm sure her parents meant well, but the name's a little ominous, isn't it? Unless she chose it herself. Which is even more worrying, honestly.
Mark my word, the half-elf's an abyss of lies and secrets. Shadowheart indeed.
Beneath her forbidding countenance, I sense this cleric will prove quite the companion. A wise decision to let her join us.
He stares right past you, as if you're invisible. or boring? You seem nothing out of the ordinary. As you turn back, the child slips between the rocks. You find the edges of a concealed entrance.
Well, look who's come to visit. My kids say you've been busy since you got here. Not sure why you're poking your nose in our business, though. We have that in common, then. But you aren't welcome here. This is our hideout. But hey, maybe you didn't know. Because of that, I'll give you a 10 count to leave. 3, 2, 1.
You're the first grown-up who's ever gotten in here. Not bad. Hold out your hand, lady. Let me show you something. Go on. Take this ring. It's lucky. You haven't seen anything yet, lady. Go on, take the ring and watch your fortune change. Weeping bleeding hells! Okay, maybe you don't need extra luck. But since you're already holding the thing, call it heads or tails. Heads it is. See? That's the kind of luck you get from one of my lucky rings. I've got more where that came from. Real cheap too. Interested? Hey, not so loud. You caught me. All right. They're not lucky rings. I'm just trying to earn money for my family. My father left and my mother, she's so sick. I wish I had better things to sell than trinkets, but it's all I have. Thank you. That means so much. That's what I got. You bought something. Most everybody says it looks like junk and moves on. Really? Good thing we met then. Anyway, see you again sometime. Take care. Safe travels.
You spot the boy giving a sly wink as he turns away.
Oh, I don't have any money or anything to sell. My partner does that. What? I'm the guard. So don't steal anything. I'm watching you.
Be wary of false promises. The missing druid, Halsin, was it? He may be talented, but only a Githyanki Zathis can cleanse an embedded tadpole. Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zathisk purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant, order turns to chaos and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
Seems Mole was as good as her word. She's reported that you've been threatening children. An unorthodox defense, but one that seems to have worked. You're free to go.
David isn't the talk of the camp. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh. There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore. Aha! You take a sup of that and you'll feel right as rain, sweetie. Well, that depends. What's wrong, lovey? Oh, I've seen it all. I once had a fella who'd been caught dabbling with a dryad. The wife was none too pleased and introduced him to a pot of boiling oil. But worry not. I fixed him up, and depending on the lighting, he looks good as new. My point is, whatever ails you, I promise I've seen worse.
Why, she sounds positively demented. I love it. Let's tell her everything.
What is it, Petal? What's wrong?
As you recount your adventure, Auntie Ethel nods along, her eyes wide.
You poor pet! My heart goes out to you, truly. I see no sign of a tentacle yet, but that could change in an instant. You need help. Serious help. I've ne'er a potion or lotion here that could do it, but... yes, I may have something at home. I've collected some interesting bits and bobs over the years. You'll have to stop by my house, just at the edge of the forest. Let me mark it on your map. I'll be heading back soon, so I can meet you there. Now, do you need anything? I have a few odds and ends for sale. Hey, bother. Be careful on the road. I'd hate if something happened to you. Take care, Petal.
Thanks for fighting off those goblins. If you need to replace any gear, just ask. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment in Elturel. Of sorts. Used to be a bread and butter tinsmith before Elturel fell into Avernus. These days my talents are more eclectic. Learned a lot in my time in the Hells. Hope to forget most of it. But between you and me, there's nothing in all the realms like the utter power of infernal machinery. Alas, my offerings are far more humble these days.
And we'll have a dog, right?
They don't allow them in Baldur's Gate. Cats, though?
A little orange cat. And a house with a little door so that it can come and go as it pleases.
And a high fence to keep eavesdroppers out. Thanks. I suppose we'll all need it.
What about you? Big plans for when you get to the city?
I think I've heard of that place. Something about a stuffed dragon's head in one of the dining rooms. It's settled, Dennis. You, me, and the Elf Song Tavern first thing when we arrive. If we see you there, we'll get you a pint. For your finder's fee.
By Mordai's eyes. Another one. My friend's blood not enough. Come to rip me open too.
In Kresh Kalir, a formal greeting begins with a bow.
Is this monster with you?
Lower. You saw another Gith. Where?
On the road to Baldur's Gate, near the mountain pass. Saw us before we saw it. Jammed its blade through Yul's belly. Straight to the other side.
No twisting. Kin must have been in a hurry. The map.
Show me. Up. You can keep your innards.
Oh, you're not going to eviscerate him? I was hoping for a show.
Cool your blood. I'll indulge you soon enough.
The locals prove compliant. A useful trait. Tch. A shell so thin requires little to crack it. The teeth sling was clear. If there are Githyanki west of here, that must be our objective. Purification cannot wait. I am unfamiliar with the... well, I shall not say culture. Custom, perhaps. You will educate me on matters of this Fey run. The creche holds the Zaithisk. It will cleanse us of the parasite. By covenant, I can say no more.
You ain't gonna shoot me. Your hands are shaking.
Put it down. She can't fight back.
That's the point. Get out of the way!
She didn't kill your brother, Arca. You're better than this.
Shoot before you lose your nerve, Tiefling. If you ever had it to begin with. Looks like the Absolute sent me a protector. You gonna kill her too?
You! Move! Cannon would hate me for this, but he's not here. They took him from me. Don't you dare! Damn you. Damn it! Why do you care if a goblin lives or dies? If you believe anything the beast tells you, you're an idiot.
It's all right, Arca. Let's go.
Believe it or not, but I witnessed a similar standoff back at the Yawning Portal. Of course, an establishment like that invites all sorts of outlandish entertainments. Oh, a drow, a dragonborn, and a cleric of Cyric walk into a bar. Your standard fare. Maybe someone was cheating at cards. Maybe it was some weird lover's quarrel. In any case, out came the crossbow, and a hush fell over the entire room. No. Yours truly diffused the situation. I stood up and yelled, "Shadow Dark Ale for everyone!" The crowd cheered. The tension drained into 6 tankards, and soon all was well again. In a place like the Yawning Portal, the most powerful magic is calling for a round of drinks. Mind you, all I did was call for ale, but you went and stood in front of that crossbow. Well, I'd drink to that.
Ain't sure why you're protecting me. Don't care neither. It's too late to make friends, warg meat. My tribe's coming. They're gonna burn this pretty place for the glory of the Absolute and hang you by your guts. Goddess. We're burning her name across the face of the world, we are. The Absolute is gold from the sky, she is. The blessing in the storm and the storm itself. My tribe can tell you everything there is to know. Absolute bless one of our own. Priestess Gut. Got a whole lab set up. Cooks up potions that fix our lads, no matter how much of a beating they take. Could probably stick your head back on if someone was to chop it off. Mighty booyog.
I'm not saying we should trust a goblin, but she sounds very useful.
Get me out of here, and I'll tell you where to find her. Deal? Suit yourself. Looking forward to seeing what your innards look like.
Let my daughter go right now!
She's a thief, hellspawn. And you will wait for Korga's judgment. Now get back!
Oh! Let me through, Mragrasham, or I'll rip your damn throat out!
Calm, Magrin. Give her a chance. You, get back! It's forbidden to outsiders. Korga's orders. Keep back. Force my hand and I'll show you its claws.
A moment, Giorna.
What? Oh, I understand. You. Apparently Korga wants to see you. Go ahead.
Please. I'm sorry.
This is madness, Korga. She's just a...
A what, Wrath? A thief? A poison? A threat? I will imprison the devil. And I will cast out every stranger. The Tree Father's words. Your circle taught well. You know, then, that Sylvanas spoke further. The parasite must be removed for new seed to grow. Yet behold, the parasite lives. She eats our food, drinks our water, then steals our most holy idol in thanks. Wrath, lock her up. She remains here until the rite is complete. And keep still, devil. Tila is restless.
Come, Korga. We took back the idol. Surely...
Do it.
A new hatchling? Yes, they can be foolish. Korga sine. Wuxkiafula warfanol.
Sif Sif. It is as you say, Tila. Come to me. Out, thief. My grace has its limits.
Thank you, Korga. Master Halsin...
Halsin isn't here. Keep his name off your tongue, lest Tila pierce it.
That woman has more venom in her heart than a snake in its fangs. But at least the child is safe. What is youth if not a time to be forgiven for one's transgressions? Ha! And you don't? You're wholly without vice or sin, or the occasional lapse in judgment? No. You don't strike me as quite that boring.
Go on. Say it. You think I'm a monster? Ah. You don't see a monster. You just look at me through one's eyes. You are like the devils. Where they tread, chaos follows. No matter. I took back the idol of Sylvanas, and the rite is resumed. We will seal the grove, free from harm, free of intruders. So you say, yet the child walks free. You showed great mettle at the gate. The mettle of a skilled sword for hire. I want you to provide your services to Zevlor. Offer to guide the Outlanders out of the grove. I'm sure they'll reward you well. They're to be gone before final prayer. If they are not, the Viper must strike. Then they soon know the sting of my venom. Get out. We have no more business.
Another stranger come to vex me. What will you do? Hunt me? Grab my tail? Shout until my head hurts? No, wait. You smell fresh. Safe. You can stay, if you must.
She's never looked better. I'm impressed. What can I do for you? You found her, but I still don't know what she can do for you. Come here. Let's have a look at you. You seem healthy enough. A bit tired around the eyes, maybe. A tadpole. A mind flayer tadpole. I'll do what I can. Come, follow me. I might be able to help. This one had the same problem as you. Attacked us in the woods together with some goblins. Tadpole crawled out of his head soon after. Seems so. Gave Master Halsin a right start. It's why he joined the adventurers on their expedition. To find out what was happening. A pity you got me instead of him. He understands these things. Studied them. Still, we have options. You don't have to be here for this.
I'm interested in the procedure, actually. Please, go ahead.
All right. Let's see what we can do. It might. But first things first. Tell me about your symptoms. Have you noticed anything strange happening?
Looking closer, you recognize the branch, and it's no druidic cure. She's holding Kalimvor's kiss, a briar from the Dale lands, and a deadly poison.
I want to help you, but I can't unless you work with me. So, has anything unusual happened to you? Protected from on high? Sounds like the drow. Master Halsin said he was tougher than he had any right to be. How'd you pick up the parasite? Halsin was desperate to find where all this was happening. A mind flayer ship? But Master Halsin was sure. Look, you've been straight with me, so I'll be straight with you. You're dangerous. If you transform here, we're all dead. But you seem like a good soul. You deserve a chance to save yourself. This is a vial of wyvern poison. Swear to me, you'll swallow it if you feel any symptoms. I don't have a cure. Only a way out. I'm sorry for misleading you, but I had to be sure you weren't a threat before I told you everything. Now, do I have your word or not? But you have to. Don't you understand? You could kill us all. Then I've no choice. I'm sorry.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Ned Siranis of the Absolute. Scouting. Found druids. Minthara. Back at camp.
The corpse remains silent. It doesn't understand the question.
Moonrise Towers. Initiation.
spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
You ever scare me like that again, and I'll feed you to a knoll.
Mom, I'm fine. Stop it.
Our little Hellion told us what happened. Thank you. Don't know what we'd do without her. The Nine Hells will sooner freeze over, but we'll try.
Ugh. I'm never gonna hear the end of this. If I'd got that stupid idol, I'd be a hero. Least I tried. No one else was doing anything. They were talking when the druids were getting ready to throw us out. Why can't we just stay in until it's safe?
It hurts! It hurts! Please, make it stop!
Can't you hear it? Her singing. It's awful.
Terrible.
Oh no, whatever shall we do? More witless creatures. More ear bleed. My head is melting. I'm leaving before the damage is permanent.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will change. No. Become. More like butchering. Don't know why I bother. No, I'm moments away from a grisly death. At the hands of this bloody song. I can't. Nothing fits, you know? It can't hurt. I have an extra lute, if you want. I'll start from the beginning. We'll take it slow. Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash when you cool the last light down. Moon reminds me of your grace, all the love I can't repay. Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Sorry. Very subtle. That's the first time I've played since Lihala died. My teacher. She was playing her lute. We didn't hear the gnolls coming. There was so much blood. I can still smell it. She'd yell at me for that clunky verse and make me play till my fingers were raw. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Finish the Weeping Dawn. For her. Keep the lute. Please. You've earned it. I've a long way to go. But thank you. I needed this.
Tiring business, isn't it? All this traveling and adventuring. Why don't we take a little break? Allow ourselves a few moments of rest? Gives me a chance to talk to you about something, well, rather important. We've been on the road together for a while now, haven't we? Survived some perils, overcame some obstacles. Ever since you were kind enough to free me from that stone, I've seen you demonstrate remarkable guile and courage. The way you stood in front of a crossbow to prevent a murder. The way you got Korga to release the girl. In short,
I've grown to trust you. The reason I make a point of saying this is that I've grown confident enough to tell you something I've yet to tell another living soul, except for my cat. You see, I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share, but just as deadly. Thank you for the offer, but the treatment for my condition is very specific. What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside. I can say no more on the matter. Not now, anyway. Just trust me when I say it's all of vital importance. It's been days since I last consumed an artifact, since before we were abducted. It's only a matter of time before my craving returns. That is why I turn to you. I need you to help me find magic items to consume. It is vital. Dare I say it? Critical. We've already done the finding. In fact, you have one in your possession. You know for yourself how hard-won such an item was, and it will be no easier when even more are required to assuage my hunger. There'll be danger involved, or great cost. Splendid. Bit of boldness will serve us well. I'm sure we won't have to look very far to find what I need. Faerun overflows with magic-infused treasure. As do our packs, as a matter of fact. We've such an item already in our possession, primed for the moment the need arises. I hope I can count on you. How can I help? Your enterprising approach to my problem is most encouraging, but it is a delicate process to keep my condition stable. I do not yet need to consume an item, but keep it close by. It will not be too much longer. Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone.
Well, hello. What can I do for you? Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers. If we can convince the right people to talk. It's beautiful.
Shh. Listen.
A sweet melody beckons you. It vibrates with magic. A harpy's charm. The suffocating yearning suddenly fades as the spell breaks. You are free.
No. It's just a bit of water. I only want to listen. Just a little closer. Yes, everything's gonna be fine once I get there. Are they gone?
Just a moment. This man is recording my story. I am far from home.
As the colourful man starts scribbling, the bear sneaks a quick look at the page. His brow furrows. Incomprehensible squiggles surround a crude sketch. A bear disemboweling a clutch of tieflings.
Come on. All the druids can understand me. You can. Why can't the man with the pen? I traveled a long way.
The man nods thoughtfully, and adds another dismembered limb to his sketch.
Ah, my good friend. You were at the gates just now, no? When the goblins came? You saw them up close? A few questions, if you please. There's no overstating my interest. I'll make it very quick. Hand to heart. Glory. Now then, how would you describe that particular batch of goblins? Size, nature, distinguishing qualities?
You search your mind, successfully recalling various details of goblin behavior.
My, a scholar after my own heart. Spent much time among goblins? Uh-huh. I've always preferred experience to the second-hand accounts of lesser men, but to each their own. Now, I've a few more questions, if you don't mind. And the dragon they had marching in the rear, was it of the brass or silver variety? Witnesses failed to notice the obvious dragon. Last question, then you'll be quite free. Did the attackers rally to the absolute when they fell upon the gates? They did, didn't they? Oh, curious. Oh, curious indeed. I've interrogated one, a captive in this very camp. She reports they've abandoned their god Maglabiet in favor of someone called the Absolute. The scandal! Ah, but is superstition all? These goblins are informed by a kind of strategy anathema to their kind. I, for one, intend to get to the bottom of it. I'm just preparing to head to their camp as we speak, in fact. If you'll excuse me, I ought not to door roll. My friend, every story benefits from a dragon. Until we meet again.
Shh, I'm concentrating. Does this look good? Is the coin in the middle? Yes. Yes, you're right. That's it.
Get out!
The squirrel lunges at your foot and bites it.
You barged in without an invitation. I wouldn't call that friendly. See, you're in my territory, and I want you gone. How about this? You can stay if you keep those ugly feet on the ground. I'll even sweeten the pot. Found some weird smelling stuff on the ground. You can keep it, but these trees are mine. Follow the rules and I won't have to intervene. Got it?
I have something to ask. You have good timing. Never been much of a fighter, so wrestling a bugbear would have gone poorly. But you're not here for heroics, are you? Avernus's stench is all over your skin. Let me guess. Your devil mistress sent you to get her soul coin back. Too bad. I earned it, fair and square. You almost seem honest. Care to explain why you reek of the hells? Well, that's quite the story. And I thought I was doomed. Now I feel sorry for you. Here. Take this. It's worth a fortune. But a fortune's not worth much if you're dead. Consider it payment for saving my life.
A soul coin, true to its name, holds a mortal soul inside. It serves in the Nine Hells as very valuable currency.
Something the matter? There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it. We've been through quite a lot, with likely more to come. Care to narrow it down a little? Must I? Thinking about it won't help. We know what to do, so let's do it. Find a way to rid ourselves of these things. Personally, I think finding this Halcyon is our best bet. Oh, there's Ethel. Not that I'm keen to trust her. If we're truly desperate, we can try to convince that goblin gut in assisting us. I'm not too hopeful that a Gith Kresh will actually prove our salvation, but worth keeping in mind. We go our separate ways, of course. What else? The ties that bind would be well and truly severed. We were brought together by circumstance. Besides, I have my own people in Baldur's Gate. And before you ask, no. I'm not telling you what I'm doing there, or who I'm meeting, or anything else. You pry too much. Any further and you'll regret it. Understand?
It's quite a sight. The stars, I mean. I could take or leave your chin. I can see the stars from Baldur's Gate, of course, but not with such clarity. It got me thinking, reflecting on what tomorrow might bring when we meet this goblin priestess. Will she know how to bring the worm under control? Will this little adventure of ours be over? Good. I don't want you to run off just yet. You're quite the ally, after all. Traversing Avernus, surviving the crash, surviving everything that's followed. I'm not easily impressed by people, but you're stronger than I gave you credit for. You have your charms, more than you think.
The smile on his pretty lips is a touch too composed, a bit too perfect. He may not mean a word he says.
A delicious thought, but the right moment. I'm sorry. I need to clear my head. I'll see you later, I'm sure. Sleep tight.
The leader of the pack comes to chat. What's on your mind? You must be pleased to have a clear path forward. The sooner we find this priestess gut, the better. Can't wait to get rid of this thing in my head. The same. These parasites are proving suspiciously benign. But suppose I turn. What would you do? A firm answer. I'd do the same. We'll need that kind of thinking to make it through all this. You're doing well. It's a beautiful night. I think I'll stay up to enjoy it while I still can. Rest well.
A fine evening, don't you think? The moonlight shines warmly on us. The breeze caresses our faces. Hideous. All of it. Would that I were doing battle up there, among the tears. Yes. Rocky bodies named after a false goddess. Look above. Watch the moon cross the sky. The tears follow behind it. Rocky bodies tumbling through the sea of night. One of them is my Kresh. Clear, Your curiosity is to be commended. Githyanki are hatched in creches all throughout realm space. Kalir is one of many. It's there I first saw a Kithrak mount a red dragon, where I slit my cousins' throats at the Vaj's command. But enough of this. You are wasting your resting time. Come dawn, we resume our search for a creche.